Hi, Craig Carlisle here. Today I'm going to show you how to log into the BWM Work Request program. Before you start, someone must have loaded the icon onto your computer. So if you haven't got a shortcut on your desktop to BWM Work Requests, then talk to your IT people now. But presuming you have got that, all you have to do is double click on the icon to open up what you see in front of you now. You don't have to log into the Work Request program. There's no security access into it, which is different to the full program. The full program has got secured logons. But for the purposes of what we're trying to do here, which is to allow you to log your work requests and follow them if need be, it's an open system. So when you open it up, this is what you'll see in front of you. You have four options: adding a new work request, viewing outstanding work, viewing by work order number, or customer reports. So we'll start with the obvious, which is adding a new work request. All you do is you click on that little button there, click on there, and straight away it's gone to the work register and it's trying to create a new work request for you. There is a difference in terminology between work requests and work orders. Work requests do not have a scheduled date or an assigned to person, but work orders do. And that's a process that the engineers will take your work request through. So starting out, we want to add a new item. There's a couple of points throughout this process where the computer will stop and ask you if you want to continue. It's just giving you options to bail out if you're not comfortable. But yes, we do want to raise one today. When we click yes, it'll take us to the asset screen. What it wants to know is which piece of equipment on the site are you going to charge this work order to? We need to know what it is that we're going to work on. Now, depending on your setup of your site system, it may not look identical to this, and there may be different types of listings, but let's see what we've got in the practice database here. A little bit of everything. We've got conveyors, let me see, pumps, compressors, you name it. And if you can see just down on the bottom there, we've got 656 different assets. So that might be a little bit tricky to work our way through. So what we want to do is find a way to narrow down that list. The best way I can show you is using some of the search functions and filter functions up here. Under each one of these headings, under a yellow heading, you've got a white box, which is where you can enter some data. So if we want to search by asset number, we could click on there to enter it, or location, or cost center, or asset description, or criticality. By far, the best one for production users would be the asset description. You generally have an idea of what your piece of equipment's called, and you don't even have to get it right. You just get it nearly right is good enough. So I'm looking for a compressor. Here we go. I click on to the asset description. I just write in compressor. And there's a list of all the compressors on site. A couple of air compressors, a couple of ammonia compressors, and some other bits and pieces. So I'm looking to put a job in for ammonia compressor number 8, I think. Let me see. There we go. Yeah. So I click on there. And then when I've highlighted the asset that I want, I click on the bottom bar. It's that simple. If I wanted to reset that search, I can just click on there on asset description. You see that it's turned into a razor tip. I click on there and it's gone. And I click in here to reset it again. Some sites will have a dummy asset listing for just dumping work requests into. It's not a bad idea because it takes the garbage in, garbage out factor away from the production user and allows the engineer just to assign it where he thinks it should go. So it just gives you an opportunity to dump the work order into there. But it's horses for courses, it's up to your site how you do it. Anyway, we were picking on ammonia compressor number 8. So let's click on that. I've selected it. Now I go down to the bottom and click the red and white bar. There we go. Do I want to continue? Yes, please. Enter a summary of the work required. Now this is just a short summary. You'll notice it's limited to 252 characters. So it's just a summary of what the issue is, not the detail, just a summary. I can show you where you can put more detail in later on if need be. But let's just say compressor is making noise. There we go. Click on OK. It's done. The system also wants to know what kind of a job it is, or maintenance type. And on this site, your site may have different headings, but on this site, they have the headings of capital works, compliance, maintenance, non-maintenance, planned maintenance, or safety. So in this case, this job would be maintenance. Again, don't worry if you don't get it quite right. The engineers will be there to help you sort the detail out later. So click on there, click on the bottom bar. A question, is the job a breakdown or not? Basically, you'll be able to answer that question, I hope. So is it a breakdown or not? No, not in this case. So no. Requested by. Now, we're asking basically who you are. Because it's an open system, we don't know necessarily who you are. So we've got a whole lot of names listed there. If your name is not in there, talk to the engineers and get them to list your name. Again, other sites will sometimes use generic names such as production afternoon shift or that type of stuff. Once again, it's whatever is going to connect up to your system. Remembering this is an information point that helps you to track the work order later and for the engineers to get information back to you. So don't go putting someone else's name when it's not them that raised the work order. Today, my name is Bob the Builder. So I'm going to click on Bob the Builder. Here we go. And the final question, do you want to save this work order? Yes, we do. Thank you. There we go. Yes, it's been done. And there is work order, or work request, I should say, work request 834. We can add some extra information into the work order at this point or any other point. We might wish to add a photo, which is always a good idea. If you want to describe the problem in a little bit more detail, let's see what photos I might have. Ooh. Let me see, click on the button and I'm sure I had some photos in there somewhere. Oh, some photos of some nice people. Let's have a look, see. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. No. Oh, there we go. Electrical cabinet, that'll do. So you'll notice it's come up there as electrical.bmp. So I've attached that file to the side of the work order. And in the engineering department, if they want to see more detail about what the problem is, they can just click on that and voila, they'll see the same detail you loaded. We can also go into the text field. This is the working block. It's free text, and we could write some more information in here. Oops. That's very good. My typing ability, some more. And it's in there. Most of the other fields are on the work order you won't be able to access. That's left up to the engineering department. There we go. Let's now go back from the work order screen to the main menu. Now we know the number of that work order. We can go back into the work order at any stage and see what the progress is. Go and have a look, see. It was 834. I hope that's right. Here we go. Here's work order 834. I can see so far nothing's happened with it. It's still a work request. Now we're back on the main menu. The other views we can do is view work outstanding. The difference between that and view by work order number is we may not know the number or may not have remembered the number. So by clicking on view work outstanding, go to the work order search screen. Now this works pretty much the same way as the asset search screen, where we can find all of our jobs if we wish. There might be too many. In this case, there's 528, so that's a few too many. And this is a dummy database, so that's why it's got so many overdue work orders in there, the ones that are coloured red. One of the easiest ways is to look for our work orders, the ones that we raise. So requested by, I'm going to go to that screen on the top right, and I'm going to click on the white box, select Bob the Builder. And there's all the work orders that Bob the Builder has requested. That's why it was important to get that name right when we raised that work request. And here's that particular work order that we raised. There we go. Coming back to the work order search screen, of course, there's various different elements that you can search by there. It's a little bit more complicated than the other one, but there's all the opportunity to get back to your work order to answer those questions about what's happening with it. And the last little item I'll show you in this session is customer reports. Again, depending on what you've got set up on your site, when you click on this, you may see a soft reports module or you may not. If you're lucky and it's been set up for you, you'll see something like this. This is once again is just dummy data, and this is set up for a meatworks, a multi-species meatworks. This is the customer reports module. It's a soft reports module written in Microsoft Access. So it's a separate function to BWM. It shows a whole lot of basic reports. These can all be custom written for your particular site. In this trial example, we are looking at a multi-species meat plant. And what this company has done is they've set it up per production area. So if I was a pig floor manager, I just need to click on pig to get my work orders that are relevant to me, and I can run a report on that. I can print it out and that type of stuff. If you haven't seen this on your site, then talk to your engineering department about perhaps getting it set up. They may have the ability to write the soft reports themselves. If not, we provide full off-site report writing capability. So there you go. So that is the BWM Work Requests program. As you'll see, it's very simple, very easy to use. It's designed that way to make it easy for you to get the information in. And you can also see the type of delivery you get out of it will be related to the quality of the information you put in when you start. Alrighty, thank you for your time.